feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is good to be back. I had to take a few hours because the 49ers suck so much. They pissed me off for like the last 5 hours. I needed a few hours to calm down after that absolutely pathetic showing from the Niners. 3 whole points. 3 whole points in like a 3-hour game. It is a joke. And if people aren't fired after this, I think the fans might riot. I think the 49er sports fans might turn up to Levi's Stadium and absolutely riot. Imagine pissing away the first seed in the NFC, where you could have had home games for the playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl, which is being held in Santa Clara at the 49ers Stadium this year. It would have been a fairy tale finish for the 49ers, but apparently they can't do that. They decided to go out there and lay an egg. That was like inexcusable to do that while at home at Santa Clara against our rivals, the Seahawks, and just let them walk away with the win. It was absolutely disgusting, and I have been super mad for like 3 hours. So I decided to come on here. I was like, okay, let's talk about a case that it's been bothering me like for a long time, but over the last couple of days, I've been going back into it, and there's a reason. About a year ago, they released some CCTV footage of what they believe is the car that contains people and someone walking down to a house in Cypress, Texas. Plainviews Drive. They're going down there, or Plains River Drive, not Plainsview. Plainsview is a different street nearby. Plains River Drive, 18th of August 2024. Triple homicide. Never been solved. There's no one under arrest. They've never given a suspect to the public. Nothing. Now, I have been trying to reach out. There is a family member that posts online in a few places, and I've been trying to get in touch with her. She's not that welcoming of the media trying to contact her, but I have been trying to just get in touch with her. And it made me think, okay, well, since we're coming up to a year on this, let's try again. Let's try again to try and get this footage out there and explain like what you're seeing. Now, the victims in this particular one, it's Cameron Richard. Now, Cameron Richard is the girlfriend of 23-year-old Colin Foster. He's one of the other victims in this crime. The other victim is his mom, Kelly Mascarelli. Now, there's so many rumors that go back and forth on this particular one, and I have heard them all. I have heard all of them. I have heard that there was a party the night before, Colin got into it with someone, and this was retribution for it. I don't know if that's true. That's why I wanted to speak to Cameron's mum, who is called Tina. I've been trying to get in touch with Tina and to verify some of this stuff, but not been able to make much contact with her. I've heard other things like Kelly was dating someone at some point, and this is also some sort of payback for being broken up with. It's just the rumor mill on this one is just it's a bit insane. It's a bit insane. It's a bit crazy, but instead of us going through the rumors, why don't I tell you the facts? Because I like the facts. That's what I like on this channel. I don't like to really deal with rumors unless I can verify them. And I think the best shot we have at this is that someone either heard something about what happened this night, something that they will be like, "Oh, well, I just overheard it, and it was this little bit of information." Yeah, but that's what they need to know about. They need to know if someone's been going around talking about this, bragging about it, talking about how they did this crime. That's the kind of information they want to hear about. And on your screen here, so this is the CCTV from the FBI, was released very early in 2025. And it sort of shows, I'll see if I can make this bigger. There we go. At the start of this footage, you'll see, right? I don't know if you can see it, but as we transition, there's a person up here, up to the left of the screen. There's a figure that starts walking down the road, and they get onto the footpath and they walk down the street. Now they're hard to see. There's cameras at night. It's quite early in the morning. It's before 6 a.m. in the morning, so it's very dark out. Sun has not come up fully or at all yet, and you got these people prowling the neighborhood, prowling. And I'm going to use that word because I think it's a good word to describe what they're doing. And the camera's a bit janky, but you can see this person in a hoodie start walking down the sidewalk, right? This is one of the people that they think approached that property and went in there and killed 3 people. Uh, Let me give you a breakdown of how that happened. So this guy jumped a fence, went in through the back door, went up to someone on the, I believe it's the ground floor, shot and killed them, went upstairs and killed Cameron and Colin as well, 3 people. Then found an accelerant because from what I understand, this person does not have anything in their hands. A lot of rumors about this particular person on this camera holding something, but from what I understand, they were not holding anything large. They might have had a firearm in their pocket or in their hoodie, but as far as I know, they weren't holding anything like a gas can or something like that. And this person went in there, and the timeline. Let me talk to you about the timeline of all this. This all went down in minutes. We're not talking about like 25 minutes. We're not talking about like an hour and a half. We're talking like it almost seems professional because of how quick this went down. By the time this guy enters the home, kills 3 people, splashes accelerant around the home, lights it, and gets out of the property and leaves, it is 6 minutes. 6 minutes. That's it. To kill 3 people and set a massive fire inside the home to try cover up what they've done. That is very quick. And that speaks to me about a couple of things. And one of the things is, how did they know the back door was unlocked? That's always puzzled me about this particular crime. How did they know the back door would be open? And I've always found that strange. It always speaks to me as if someone's been there before. I don't know if that's true. I don't have any inside information that's coming from my own brain. Um, because like otherwise, how would you know it was even there? How like did you scope the place? Have you been there before? What knowledge do you have of that house? And then how would you know your way around the inside to kill 3 people and set it on fire in like just over 5 minutes? It almost says to like I don't know if it'll end up being true, but I reckon there's someone that's been there before. I reckon they've either been in that house before or there's some connection to it. Um, I don't know if they used to be a friend, they've been there on some occasion for some reason, they scoped the place out, they did some background on it. I don't know, but it just is a little odd. Now, so you've seen our guy on the other side of the street walking down the pavement. There he is. They believe this is a male. And then you see this. This is the other person or persons, multiple. They think there's either one or more people inside of this car, along with the person walking down the street. So now we've got a car with some sort of people inside of it and someone walking towards the property who will enter that property and allegedly kill them. Now, this car, and I'll show it. I'll just play it actually. Here, we'll just play it and then we'll go back. Yeah. So watch this vehicle. It just sort of drives around. There it goes, and he goes down there, and then he'll come back the other way, and then he'll go down another street, and then he'll come back again, and he like loops around. Look at this. Just cruising through the neighborhood at 5 a.m. in the morning. Then look, there he comes back the other way a couple of minutes later. Turned around, going back the other way, slows down, goes in this direction. Not moving that fast, going pretty slow. There you go, just prowling the neighborhood. And while this is going on, that timestamp is incorrect. But as this is going on, inside of that house, all hell is breaking loose. All right. This, I believe, and I think this is the only street that has this cul-de-sac look to it. I hope I'm right in that this is the home right here at the top of the cul-de-sac. And so he goes around the roundabout, just, you know, hanging out. One of the things I noticed actually when I was looking at this footage, let's go back. Let's pull that car back right sort of there. I don't see a license plate on that vehicle. That vehicle is quite lit up from the camera, and it looks like there might be a light in front of this house and from their own beams on the front of the car. I don't see a white license plate on the front of that vehicle at all. And I can tell you on the rear of the vehicle, it looks like there is one, but not on the front of the car. Now, as far as I know, they've never been able to track down who owned this car, what type of car it might be, or where it came from. That is something they would like the answer to. And as you can see, this is you know, talk about serendipity. There is a state trooper's car parked right here where they drive right past it. And you go, oh, if the timing was any different, this might be different. This might be better. There might be a way of I don't know. They might have got caught or something. And you go, there was authorities right there. It's really sad. You know, if it was a couple of hours later, maybe it was different. Yeah, it's one of those random things, I guess. And then that car takes off, keeps driving around the neighborhood. And this is the next bit that we need to pay attention to. Okay. So this is sort of the back of the property. This is the back of the property where the murders took place. And you see a shadow up in the top right corner running along that fence line. And he jumps over something, and he jumps over something else, and he gets to the back into this recreation area at the back here. And then you can see the little tiny silhouette at the top there. And then he kind of walks. He was running when he came through here, but as he gets into the recreation area, he slows down a little bit, which is interesting. And it's one of the only looks we'll get at him that is that clear, unfortunately, right in the top sort of center of the screen. And then he walks through this recreation area, and he gets to the other side, and he jumps another fence, and he'll walk down this street, cross the road, and meet up with the car. The car we just saw, that car will pull up and meet him within. It's almost like they timed it. And I was talking to Mrs. Ping about this, and I was like, I reckon they're on the phone to each other. I reckon there had to have been like, I don't know, Bluetooth headset or something that they're sort of like, hey, meet me out here, like right now, I'm done. There has to be some communication between them because you'll see as this guy walks down the street, he's coming from the left side, gets into frame. Here he is. As he gets to that corner, you can see the headlights of his buddy. Look at that. Look at the timing. That is impeccable timing. I don't know if you could plan that if you tried, but they did it. And he crosses the street. And this is the interesting bit. This bit might be able to blow the whole case wide open. There he is. Look at this. So he crosses the street. This point right here is where he opens the back door. I know it's very hard to see, but on my giant monitor, I can see it. He opens the car door and he hops in. And if you noticed, the car turned off their headlights very, very quickly. And there's a reason for that. Just after this guy hops in the car, look who shows up. Another car flying by. And now there has been some suggestion this could be a trooper because they are absolutely flying. And everyone's like, well, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning. It could possibly be someone doing their patrol and heading back to the station or something like that. But you would think if it was a cop, they would have known that one of their units were nearby when the murder took place. And they would be like, let's review the camera footage from the car. But that that has not happened as far as I know. Sorry, I was going to cough into the microphone. Um, and you see, this car, whoever this might be, might have got the best look at who was in that vehicle. Like that could be if we could find out who this driver is. I don't know if they saw them, they may not have, they may have been concentrating on the road. That's a possibility. And they were going real fast. Look, they were flying. But their car gets lit up, and it's a shame we don't have better quality. We might be able to tell how many people are in that vehicle. So we'll play it. They fly through, and as soon as they're out of the thing, bang, headlights on, and they're off. They are off. They're going to turn this corner and head towards the highway. There you go. They're in the corner. They're going to turn up here. This leads to a massive highway about 2 minutes down the road. And after they get on the highway, they are long gone. They are somewhere outside in Texas, far away. It's a massive, massive interstate highway. And yeah. That is a question I had, and I don't have an answer to it. But I will tell you that this particular area has a lot of residences, a lot of residences, a lot of people. You could try geofencing this area for this night at this time. It'd be a lot of work. There would have to be 1,000,000 connections plus. 1,000,000 plus has to be because there is so many houses. I think you would be I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, just that I think it would be very difficult because you somehow have to know what you're looking for. Geofencing is where you put a geo sort of ring around a location and you sort of vacuum up all the people, all the phones connecting to any towers from that one area. But you have to know sort of what you're looking for too. If you don't know what you're looking for, how do you find out what you're looking for? Like, how would you find the phones? How would you find the one in the car and the one in the home? It's not as easy as they make it sound on TV. It takes you would need you would need some idea of what you're looking for. Anything, mobile carrier. You would need maybe phone type. I don't know something. It's very difficult. It's not as easy as it sort of seems to be. Rachel said that person must have been there or saw the plans of the house. To do this in the time that they say, I reckon they've been there before. I just have a funny feeling that this is someone who's either been there before or I don't know, knows about the place. I'm not sure. But they're saying here around 5:30 a.m., the black sedan that we saw in that video is seen driving around the neighborhood for 30 minutes. At 3 past 6 a.m., a thin, hooded man is dropped off at the intersection of Watermill Drive and Palos Park Drive. He starts walking south towards the community center while the other suspect drives around the neighborhood. The man in the hoodie hops the fence. He enters through the back gate of the home without forced entry. Once inside, he quickly shoots all three people, killing them before using an accelerant to set the home on fire. 11 minutes later, at 6:14 a.m., surveillance from the clubhouse shows the man walking away from the home. The getaway driver picks him up near Cypresswood Drive and Palos Park Drive and takes off. They said here, despite a promising lead on the getaway vehicle, the car has never been located. Investigators said the fire destroyed much of the evidence and the case remains unsolved. It is brutal, really is. Yeah, this is a video. I think it has Tina, which is Cameron's mother, in it, and I want to play it because she has a lot to say. I think she has more to say, but she's not allowed to. She has been posting online in some places that I've been able to read, and she has a lot that she would like to tell people.
Today marks 1 year since 3 people were mysteriously shot to death inside of a Cypress home before the killer intentionally set the home on fire.
The tragedy happened on August 18th of last year at a home off Plains River Drive. 54-year-old Kelly Mascalari and her son, 23-year-old Colin Foster, were killed, as was Colin's girlfriend, 21-year-old Cameron Richard.
KPRC2's Coralie Peel has been following this case since the very beginning, and she sat down with Cameron Richard's parents, who are hoping for more answers.
Over the past year, no one has been identified as a suspect. In this case, there are 2, the shooter and the getaway driver. There is still a $25,000 reward on the line, but Cameron Richard's family is starting to feel hopeless.
She was the joy of my life.
A year of heartbreak is what Cameron Richard's parents, Tina and Johnny Taylor, have felt without their kind, sweet, and animal-loving daughter.
Just horrific. I mean, just something that you never, ever expect. You never think you'd go through.
21-year-old Cameron was staying at this Cypress home off Plains River Drive with her boyfriend, 23-year-old Colin Foster, and his mother, Kelly Mascarelli. On August 18th, 2024, detectives say all 3 were shot to death before someone intentionally set the home on fire. When was the last time you talked to Cameron?
The night before. But I talked to her at 9 o'clock, and she was watching Grey's Anatomy for the 15th time. She sent back, "Good night, Mama. I love you so, so, so much." That was the last words I spoke with her.
Cameron's parents did not know what happened until watching the news the next morning.
I recognized the house, and then I saw her car out front. And I screamed for Johnny and said, that's the house that Cameron lives at.
The killer was nowhere to be found. 6 months after the murders, the Harris County Sheriff's Office and FBI Houston released this surveillance video of the suspected killer and the getaway car. Around 5:30 a.m., this black sedan is seen driving around the neighborhood for about 30 minutes. At 6:03 a.m., a thin hooded man is dropped off at the intersection of Watermill Drive and Palos Park Drive. He starts walking south towards the community center while the other suspect drives around the neighborhood. The man in the hoodie hops the fence. He enters through the back gate of the home without forced entry. Once inside, he quickly shoots all 3 people, killing them before using an accelerant to set the home on fire, covering his tracks. 11 minutes later, around 6:14 a.m., surveillance from the clubhouse shows a man walking away from the home. The getaway driver picks him up near Cypresswood Drive and Palos Park Drive and takes off. After the surveillance was released, law enforcement sources told me they had a good lead on the vehicle, but no updates since. Investigators say majority of the clues of the cold-hearted killing erased by flames that burned the home that remains boarded up. 365 days later, the suspects have never been identified. The motive is still a mystery.
I want them to get who it is, but I just don't think they're going to get it solved. I don't have any faith.
Detectives told Cameron's parents their timid and tiny daughter, who battled heart conditions, was not the intended target.
I see you have a butterfly on your hat. Butterflies are a special symbol for Cameron.
For me, yeah, for me and her, she loved them. But after she got out of the hospital, I went and got a butterfly tattooed on my back because butterflies represent something beautiful can come out of something, the transition, coming out of something hard. And she always loved that story.
How do you want Cameron to be remembered?
For just being a fighter, for dealing with health issues her whole life and being resilient and still smiling and happy and finding happiness in everything. I'm never going to stop fighting for her.
Cameron's mother says her faith is the only thing keeping her going. I have reached out to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and they tell me there is not a significant update right now, but this is an ongoing investigation. They're also working with FBI Houston. Again, there is that $25,000 reward for any information that can lead to an arrest. If you know anything, you're asked to contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
So, like you heard in that video, Cameron is not believed to be the target of the shooting. She is considered a collateral target, basically. The only reason she was killed is because she was there that night. Who does that leave us with? Well, that leaves us with Colin and his mum, Kelly. But let me ask you this. If they were able to shoot the mum first and she was the target, why wouldn't they just leave? They killed the person they wanted to kill. Why not just get out of there right then? Why go upstairs and kill Colin and Cameron? What would be the point of that? It tells me that, is it possible it's Colin who was the target? That some connection to him is the reason they were killed? I don't know. I don't have that information. I hope to get it at some point. Now, digging up some stuff on this. Now, I read some of Tina's posts on social media, and I was trying to get in contact with her to talk to her. I wanted to bring her on the show so that we could, I wanted to talk to her about Cameron, but I also wanted to ask her what's been going on in the case since, August of 2025. Has there been any updates? Can we do anything? That type of thing. But she hasn't got back to me. Yeah, so that's all we really know. But reading her post, she seems to indicate that it's Colin. Now, I don't know if that's just out of anger. I don't know if that's just a hurt woman who lost her daughter in unimaginable circumstances, blaming the reason she was at that house, which was Colin. I don't know if that's what it is or he really is the target, but she has hinted a couple of times that there's something there. So, yeah, very little has been released about any sort of background information on Kelly or Colin or Cameron, but if they believe Cameron is not the intended target, then why would they release any information about her? She's considered like an innocent bystander. Then we only have two people. It's only can be Kelly or Colin, mother and son. Drug related, I look. There was some information a while ago that said it that it wasn't drug related, it wasn't targeted, and it wasn't something else. But I can't imagine it's not targeted. Hold on, let me try and find the press release. Let me see. There was a small press update. Where is it? Might be this one. Okay. Yep. So, according to the sheriff's office, firefighters entered the home and found a woman's body downstairs. That's what I was telling you before. If she would have been the first killed, they would have walked through the door, shot and killed Kelly Mascarelli. And then they said once the fire was out, they found 2 more people that were found in the upstairs portion of the home. So again, it doesn't seem like to me it's the mum who would be the target because they would have got their intended person straight away. There'd be no need to shoot the 2 people upstairs because if they're asleep, they don't really hear it. You'd be able to get away. There's no real reason to go upstairs and go murder 2 other people and then set the house on fire. They're saying here, according to the FBI, it is believed the victims were each shot multiple times while they slept. Not once, not a kill shot, multiple times. That's someone very angry. Overkill. That's what we call it. Overkill. When you shoot someone like that, multiple times each, that's someone that's very, very angry. According to the sheriff's office, arson investigators determined that the fire looked like it had been deliberately set and started with an accelerant after the 3 victims were dead. But there was I want to take you to the press conference. Let's listen to it. Give me a second. Yep, this one here.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we share some very important information with our community. We stand before you with heavy hearts, seeking justice for Kelly Mascarelli, her son Colin Foster, and his girlfriend Cameron Richard. 3 lives brutally stolen on August 18th, 2024. This was not just a fire, it was a calculated act of murder and arson. This cowardly crime has created an unfillable void in the lives of those who love Kelly, Colin, and Cameron. We will not rest until those responsible are brought to justice. Our dedicated detectives have been working tirelessly, pursuing every lead. Today, we are releasing surveillance footage of a suspect, a tall, muscular individual entering a black 4-door sedan. We believe someone in our community recognizes this person or the vehicle. We know this suspect, this coward, also had help as someone was driving his getaway car. We implore you to come forward with any information, no matter how small it may seem. We are committed to using every resource available to solve this case. We owe it to the survivors and their families to ensure justice is served. We are grateful for our partnership with the FBI Houston. Special Agent in Charge Williams is here, which has enabled us to offer a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest of the individuals responsible for this crime. This reward reflects our collective commitment to seeking justice for Kelly. Through the hotline this unimagined together, we will bring justicia. Imagen responsables.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. My name is Wendy Posadas. I am the lead investigator in the triple homicide arson case that we'll be speaking about today. On Sunday, August 18, 2024, homicide investigators were called out to the residence that was located at 14602 Plains River Drive in Cypress, Texas. Upon our arrival, we were informed 3 victims were located on the 2nd floor of the residence inside of their bedrooms with defects that were consistent with gunshot wounds. During the investigation, the medical examiner's office conducted autopsies on the victims and was able to determine that all 3 victims were shot multiple times and were deceased prior to the fire starting. My team and I, we canvassed for surveillance video in the neighborhood, and we were able to retrieve video that captured the suspect vehicle as well as the suspect. The suspect vehicle was first seen at approximately 5:30 in the morning in the neighborhood, driving around for approximately 30 minutes. The vehicle stopped at the intersection of Watermill Drive and Palos Park Drive, where a suspect exited the vehicle. At this time, we learned that there was more than one suspect involved in this case. One suspect walked southbound on Palos Park Drive as the other suspect drove the suspect vehicle around the neighborhood. The suspect walked south on Palos Park Drive towards the community center, jumped the fence at the community park, and walked down the fence line towards the back of the residence. At approximately 6:05, the suspect entered the residence through the back gate and entered through the back door of the residence. There was no forced entry observed at the back door of the residence. The suspect walked up to the second floor, shot and killed all 3 victims, and intentionally set the house on fire to cover up the crime and the evidence. The suspect walked out of the residence at approximately 6:11 in the morning, walked through the community park, walked to the intersection of Cypresswood Drive and Palos Park Drive, where the suspect vehicle awaited.
That's interesting. I don't know if that's she's misspeaking, but she says that the killer went upstairs and killed all 3 victims. But the information I have is that Kelly was found on the bottom floor. So did she move after being killed? I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I'm not sure. I would just say take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes these timelines are not 100% correct. But it says here that a woman was found downstairs. 2 more people were found upstairs. So that's what I know about it. Rachel said, "Where did he get the accelerant? Did he bring it with him?" I would have to think he found it in the home somewhere. At least I would say so. Coming from Tina, Cameron's mom, she says he's not holding anything when he's walking towards the property. I don't know if that means he doesn't have like a bottle of petrol in his hoodie or something, but you would think that we'd be able to see it maybe on the CCTV. I don't know, but it's either he found an accelerant within the home and used it, or he brought it with him. But I think that's maybe something we would need better confirmation of. All right.
At approximately 6:14, the suspect enters the suspect vehicle and starts driving. The suspect vehicle starts driving eastbound on Cypresswood Drive. At approximately 6:15 in the morning, the vehicle was last seen traveling southbound on Cypress Rose Hill Road towards 290. The suspect vehicle was observed to be a dark colored 4-door sedan with chrome rims, chrome grille, and chrome emblem in the front. There was reflectors in the back bumper, and the third brake light was positioned on the lower portion of the rear window. The suspect observed on camera was a medium-built male wearing a dark-colored hoodie and long pants. We're seeking justice for the families of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin. There's somebody out there that knows something. We are reaching out to those people to come forward and call the FBI tip line or Crime Stoppers. I've been closely working with the FBI and Special Agent Brian Ritchie, whose expertise and resources have been very helpful in this investigation. The FBI has been able to procure a reward money for any tips that leads us to an arrest in this case. I will now pass the podium over to FBI Special Agent Douglas Williams, who is speaking on behalf of the FBI. Thank you.
So good morning. My name is Doug Williams, and I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI here in Houston. I'd first like to start by offering the FBI's condolences to the family of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin, whose life was tragically taken on August 18, 2024. So I am so sorry for your tragic loss. And I am proud and want to thank the partners that are here with me today, from the Harris County Sheriff's Office to the Harris County Fire Marshals, our partners at Crime Stoppers, and the entire team at the Harris County Sheriff's Office who is supporting this investigation. We're all working this case together, but we need the public's help to solve this triple homicide. Today, and the reason I'm here is the FBI is offering up to $25,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspects who heinously killed Kelly Mascarelli, Colin Foster, and Cameron Richard. If you know anything that might help investigators, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI.
There you go. That's most of the press conference. The rest of it, I think Tina talks again in this one, and I think there's some comments. It's strange. There's a lot of innuendo online. Kelly had social media, like a lot of people in life. She had social media, and I've seen a lot of suggestion online that she had a stalker, but I don't know if this is true. I've not been able to get that confirmed from anyone, and to me, it's just a theory based on people playing Monday morning quarterback and reading back through the comments on her social media. But it's something that keeps popping up, that people believe that she had male attention that was maybe at the level of creepy. That's all I know about it. I don't know too much more, but that's what I had heard. Texas said, we had a lady killed in a drive-by shooting here in SA. She was here visiting. 2 teenagers shot the wrong house. I don't think this is the wrong house. I don't believe that. But I understand, but I just don't believe it's the wrong house. Texas said he came through the back door. There might have been a barbecue grill with lighter fluid. Could have been. I think the thing that'll always get me is the fact that he somehow knew there was a gate behind the house and somehow knew the way to enter that home was through the back door. If you're going to burglarize a place and you're going to go in there and shoot people, why would you spend all that effort to jump fences and get behind the property, making a lot of noise most likely, when you could just bust through the front door and shoot people? You're the one with the weapon, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense that you would spend all this time to get to the rear of the property unless you had something you wanted to gain, and gain might be entrance to the property. So very odd. What troubles me is that there's at least 2 people. At least. We don't know if there's only one person in that car. There could be 2 or 3 people in that car. It's a 4-seater. You could have a driver, 1 space for the person who went into the home and killed people, and 2 others in the back. There could be at least 3 people in that vehicle for all we know. There's at least 2 people, the driver and the person who went into the home, that are wandering around Texas. They're wandering around. Committed triple homicide. Wandering around as if they're free. That's worrying to me. I don't even live in Texas, and I would be worried. Kathy said maybe the back door was always unlocked. Then who would know that? That's what I'm trying to say. Who would know that it is always unlocked? That's not something you advertise. That would only be people who have gone to that property before. They would have to have gone there to know that. They're not going to guess. Just let me go back a little bit. Put yourselves in the mind of these 2 people. You're like, all right, we're going to go out at 5 a.m. and we're going to go shoot this guy or girl, and we're going to go kill him. We're going to kill these people. Like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go commit a murder, right? And you're like, okay. What are you going to do? You're going to take the path of least resistance, right? You're not going to want to get trapped somewhere Like, say if you jumped a back fence, what if you couldn't get back over it? What if you had no way of jumping it back the other way, and then you got trapped in the backyard? That's not a great thing to happen when you're trying to commit a murder, right? Just there's things here. It almost seems like they knew that was an easy way. You wouldn't do it 5 a.m. in the morning. It's the middle of the night. You're trying to commit this crime. You would take whatever the easiest way of doing it. So I I just think there's some prior knowledge there. Texas says Cyprus is a nice area. I don't think that was the norm. Yeah, I don't think it's the norm. Rachel said, I can hope they know more, just don't have enough for an arrest. A year is too long. Well, we're actually 18 months now. It's actually 18 months. It happened in August of 2024. It's now January of 2026. So we're well on the way to 18 months. And now in August of this year, it'll be 24 months. So we're well on our way to almost being 2 years. It's a long time to try and track down someone who's committed a homicide. The thing that I want to focus on is we still don't have a suspect. Anyone, not a description, not like he's 5 foot tall, is white, Hispanic, Asian, could be an octopus. Like we don't have any of that. And it's almost 2 years. It's far too long. Far too long. Yeah, I can take you to the area if you'd like to see it. Hold on. It's 1602, right? 1602. Yeah, Plains River Drive. Let's go to Plains River. Yeah, 1602. It's 14602. All right. All right. This is the property here. 14602. This is the property here. So, like you can see, the backyard is fenced in. It's fenced in all the way around. They said there was a gate here somewhere on the backside. And if we zoom out, there's the tennis court that you see him running to, and he ends up getting in a car, and the car turns a corner through here and boots it down this road, and they end up, if we go all the way down here, they end up on the highway. So they go to 290. This is 290 down here. So let's go back up here. Yeah. So he jumps the fence, sort of, I think he walks, if I'm looking at it correctly, walks down here, jumps the thing, crosses the road. Oh, wait, he goes. I can't remember how he crosses the road, but he jumps in his buddy's car over here, and then his buddy's car takes off and goes down here. So they leave, and authorities believe they ended up on 290, which is all the way down here. What's odd to me is look at all the stores. How come we don't have more surveillance footage of this car? I mean, I know it won't be very good quality. And how come on US 290, like there's no footage of them? You would think if they were on this tollway, there would be cameras on here. Even if they went on the side road, like Hempstead Road, there would have to be cameras. And I'm very confused about why the sort of why the knowledge of where the car went ends here. This is as far as publicly they've said they know where the car goes. They're like, it heads down here and heads onto the highway. Where did it go after that, and why is there no footage? That's something I would like to know. But yeah, you guys can see here. So you guys were talking about a geo fencing. Look how many homes. So let me give you sort of like how geofencing can work. All right, you're going to say, right, I want to take the area of Cypress Mill Park, and I want to sort of put the geofence around Cypress Mill Park. That's what I want to do. Well, anything that has a cellular connection is going to be connecting to a tower. So I don't know where the towers are in this area, but there's probably several of them, depending on the carrier, depending on who owns the tower, depending on where they are. There's probably several. Then you're going to have to work out every home in this area would have at least one cellular device, at least one, if not more. And you're going to have to somehow figure out which ones are part of these homes, which ones are stationary, which ones are moving, which ones are changing between different towers constantly. Now, when he drives all through here near Palace Park Drive and all this, when they do all that, you're not going to probably be able to get a good signal from it because it's probably on the same tower. It wouldn't be until they moved outside of this area and then they jumped to a different tower that you might find something. But you would have to somehow whittle down that list from all these devices. It's not as it's not as easy as you guys. It's not as easy as they make it look in NCIS or something like that. It's difficult. I've done that work. I've done cell phone tower analysis, and it's not as simple as you think it is. It's difficult. Was it the house with the tennis court? It's not their tennis court. It's sort of like a sporting thing. This is like this is not private property. I believe this is like a thing, like a public pool or something, like a public tennis court where people can go and swim or play tennis or something. And they got a basketball one here too. No, their house is right. Oh yeah, they have a little swimming pool. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they have a little pool. So this is their home right here. I can take you to the front of it. If we go up here, go like this. All right, let's spin around. This is their property right here. And you guys can see, look, they've updated the radar images. It's all boarded up now. You can see what the fire did to the property. It's all yeah, all boarded up. You even can see on the ground, is that broken glass still? I don't know. I would hope not, but it almost looks like glass that broke from the windows. But yeah, it's all boarded up. You can see the fire damage on the roof, and all the windows have been boarded up of it too. So yeah, all right. Let's have a look around the property. Yeah, it's sort of weird. You can see how it looked like before. That's how beautiful home, really pretty, very quintessential Texas home. And then if we go here, that's what it looks like sort of today. It's just boarded up and looks very vacant. So let's go over here. Let's go to where it was before. Okay. Let's go down here. All right. So you're a murderer. All right. You're a murderer. You're walking down this footpath at 5 a.m. in the morning. You got a getaway driver who you can signal and they will pick you up to help you get out of there. You approach this property. Okay. You're getting right up to it. And you're like, okay, what am I going to do? All right. I'm looking at the property. They got a big front door. Okay. I could just shoot through the windows, maybe. I could do that. All right. All right. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump this fence to get behind the property so I can enter the rear of the home and then go in and kill people. Like we showed you before, it's fenced off all the way around. So if you somehow got caught in here, it's a pretty tall fence. It's not exactly tiny. I mean, I think unless you have some sort of knowledge that you can enter this property, you are putting yourself at risk. Like, what if this gate has a lock on it, like a padlock? Like, you don't know that if you've never been here before. It might. There might be a giant dog that lives here. There might be a giant Rottweiler that lives in the backyard. Like, how would you know if you've never been here? So I have questions about who would knowingly enter this backyard, carefree at 5 a.m. in the morning, thinking that they won't be disturbed. I have questions about it. No, it's a nice neighborhood. Nice neighborhood. In a cul-de-sac, yeah. Hey Peachy, how's it going? Hey Ribena, good to see you. So as you can see, you're sort of boxed in, and the only means of escape or a quick escape is not to go back down here. And we go back down here, you're passing many witnesses. If they clue on that there was gunshots that went off and a fire, there'd be neighbors coming out if they heard it and all sorts of things, right? You would have to get down here. Wait, can we go down this one? Yeah, go down here. Try and get out. Can we go down here? And we have to get to the side road. There we go. You'd have to walk all that distance, pass all those homes, and get down here to get picked up by your getaway driver. And then you'd have to go down here and head to 290. So it's not super easy. They were very lucky that he was able to jump that back fence, take a bit of a shortcut, and meet up with his driver and then take off. Hold on, I just want to look at our video. Where are we here? Okay, there's a set of lights. There's a set of lights and that. Okay, yeah. So the pickup car was over here, right here, by the looks of it. That car. No, the car was. Hold on. So he comes out. There's like a car park. Okay. Maybe we have to go down here. Ah. Okay. So if he's there. So he walked past this opening. Past this opening. And then went across the road. Okay. So it sounds like the getaway driver was actually here. Actually sort of here. He came across there out of that park, came down here, across the road, and this is where he got in his buddy's car. They went down here, and then that's the last bit of the footage where you see them head down to 290 down here. So it's not there, it's actually down here, across the road, right there. Ah, we went to the wrong place. Right here. This is where he meets his buddy. This is where they're waiting. Let's go back. Wait, so they are on that side. Hold on. So look at the footage here. So there's that car park that we just looked at. There's that side street and there's that main road. That car is over there. So if we go back to the tennis court over here, there's that thing. There's that like driveway thing. And that's weird. In this Oh yeah. Yeah. So here. They go down here and then he runs across, jumps in the car. That other car goes in the opposite direction, and then they take off down this way and then head off to 290. Yeah, that's how it is. Sorry, I just wanted to do that mentally from this view so we all got a view of what was going on. Yeah, that's the viewpoint there. So there you go. There you go. There's that little park thing at the rear of their property. You got like a kid's playground, and then there's that pool and the other rec area. So yeah, there you go from the map. Rachel said they knew the neighborhood too. Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like they had any problems getting around. About the car, I don't know a lot about American model vehicles though, but to me it looks like some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of sedan. Like, I mean, that's obvious. It is a black sedan. L- You know, I'm not sure. At first, I thought it was a Kia, but now I'm not 100% sure. I've looked at like the tail lights and stuff, and I almost think it's not a Kia. It's some other type of model. I was trying to see if we could get a good silhouette of it, so we could have a look. Hold on. Maybe here. Yeah, so you guys can see it. Like they said, it's got chrome rims, and it does have when the car brakes, it's got like a stoplight or a brake light in the window. You know those cars that have that weird brake light in the bottom of the window? This one has one too. So I don't know, what kind of car do you guys think that is? Like a Chrysler or like a what's the name of those cheap cars in America that's not a Chrysler? Yeah, what car? In America. Let's have a look. Not a Chevrolet. Um, a GM? No. It's not the car I was thinking of. I was thinking of like a car that's like there's heaps of them, but they're not super common. I mean, they are super common, but they're not common in Australia. Like an Infinity, maybe? Like an old Infinity is what I was thinking. Um, yeah, an Acura maybe, an Acura or an Infinity. That's sort of what I was picturing when I looked at it. But again, my knowledge of American cars is unless you tell me it's like a type of truck, I can probably tell you what type of truck it is, but a four-door sedan, there's so many of them. Here you guys have a better look of it there. Yeah, there you guys can see the lights under the license plate on the back, but when we saw the footage from the front, there is no license plate. It's very dark. I don't know if they removed the one on the front or it never had it to begin with. But on that back, you definitely see there is a white box underneath the brake lights that it looks like there might be a license plate there. So I don't know what kind of car do you guys think it is? Yeah, I'll make it a bit bigger for you. Yeah, that's not a bad view of it right there. Yeah, they're not that different anymore. Rachel said the FBI is usually pretty good at IDing car models. Well, I don't think they have. Peachy said that looks like an older model, pre-2023 style or earlier. That's why I thought it was an Infinity, because those Infinities are sort of quite popular. Hold on. Here, this is sort of what I was thinking of. I'll show you. Maybe not this particular one. Something like that. Something like that. That's what I was thinking of when I looked at it. I was like, is it this type of infinity? Um, I don't know. That's just my sort of guess at it. It's got a round boot. Like the boot is quite round. Yeah, the boot's pretty round on this one too. Anyway, this is my sort of opinion. An Audi? An Audi? All right, let's have a look. Audi. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like this one here. Like this one. The question you would have to ask is, do they have the brake light in the bottom window? Do an Audi or an Infiniti have that brake light? If they do not supply cars that have a brake light in the bottom of the window, then it's not that. You have to find one that has the brake light. Now, I heard Kias do that. I don't know about the Audi or the Infiniti, but yeah, they look could be either. Could be either one. If you know, if you're like, Ping, you're an idiot. I know exactly what car model that is. That is information that they want to know because they don't know, I don't think. So if you can guess it, if you have any idea, if you're a car person, you're like, I know what that is, call it in to the FBI. I think it's the Harris County Field Office. Just call HCSO. Call Harris County Sheriff's Office and tell them, go, hey, I know what that is. It's this model from this year, X, Y, and Z. Like that's what they want to know. I'm trying to see if we have like a better look at it. I don't think we do. It's really annoying. One of the cameras we got a really good view on. It's like funny angles for the whole thing. There you go. It's a real shame. There you go. There's the silhouette of it. I wish the cameras were a bit better quality. We'd have a bit more to work with. There we go. Yeah, maybe you know what it is. Peachy said, bet it was stolen or purchased at auction. Could be stolen. Peachy said, it's either Aldi or Affinity. It would fit in with that neighborhood. Yeah, possibly. Hey, RX girl, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, you changed your display photo. Looks good. Looks good. I like it. Uh, Kathy said, yeah. So I think we're all under the same idea that it might be something like an Infinity or an Audi or something like that. Could be a GM too. Some of the GMs sort of look like that as well. Hold on, let me have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, like look at this. Like the Honda Cruise in the it's like they all make them so similar. It's so annoying. Here we go. Like it could be something like that too. I just don't know if they do the brake light in the back. But even the Honda or the GM Cruise in the sedan, it doesn't doesn't look that different. So yeah, you would have to have a great knowledge of it. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find anything else. All right.
You need the public's. Anything else?
What's it going to take to solve this case?
That a tip. You know, we're going to do everything we can for a long time shop or something, or someone bragging about, you know, in a logical.
The street.
Aye.
Oh, Tina Taylor, Cameron's mom. It's been almost 6 months. It's been 6 long months. And I think all of our families are suffering.
Okay.
3 lives were taken for no reason. My 4'6", 82-pound daughter was shot to death for no reason. Her boyfriend was shot to death and his mother was shot to death. And there is somebody evil out there walking around. And they will do it to somebody else. And they will harm somebody else's family. They will destroy somebody else's family. And if you know anything, if you have heard anything, somebody even mentioned something to you, whether you know it to be true or not, please call. Call the tip line, call the FBI, call Harris County detectives. Nobody should be allowed to take a child from a mother or to take a son from a father and a mother, or to take somebody's mother. It's horrible. And evil cannot go long. God is too good, and it will come to pass, and this person will be caught eventually. But we need everybody to call in, and if they know anything, to say something, because somebody else is going to die if this person is not taken off the street. So thank you.
Listen, in closing, I think you heard from Tina just how heinous this was and the impact still being felt by these families. And this is truly unacceptable. It was a heinous crime. These individuals.
There you go. That was Tina speaking. She's the mum of Cameron. Cameron was 21 at the time of her death. Colin Foster was 23, and his mum, Kelly Mascarelli, was 54 at the time of this event. So, yeah, I got one more I want to play to you from HCSO, and this is one they released not long after they did the press conference last year. So let me take you to HCSO's social media.
For 3 families, life will never be the same. On August 18th, 2024, the Harris County Sheriff's deputies and Cy-Fair fire crews responded to a fire at a home on Plains River Drive in Cypress. Inside the home, investigators found the bodies of 21-year-old Cameron Richard, her boyfriend, 23-year-old Colin Foster, and Colin's mother, 54-year-old Kelly Mascarelli, all shot and killed before the fire was set. Cameron was small in stature, but had a larger-than-life spirit and big plans.
She's always liked to do hair, so she wanted to be a hairdresser.
Colin had gone to auto mechanic school and had his whole life ahead of him.
Somebody took that away.
Kelly was an animal lover and fitness enthusiast. For months, investigators have been tirelessly searching for answers. Now, newly released surveillance footage is offering new insights into what happened that morning. At 6:03 a.m., a hooded suspect with a tall and thin build is seen dropped off in a black 4-door sedan at the corner of Palos Park Drive and Watermill Drive. The suspect travels south toward the community center, hops a fence, and enters the home through the back gate. Just 11 minutes later, at 6:14 a.m., he's seen fleeing the scene, picked up at the corner of Cypresswood and Palos Park Drive. Lead investigator Wendy Posadas says at least 2 people were involved, and she's committed to finding those responsible.
We're trying to get closure for these families, and we are doing everything that we can.
Investigators and the families are now turning to the public, seeking any information that could help bring justice to their loved ones.
Somebody's got to be held accountable for this, because that person is going to do it again.
Somebody knows something.
The FBI is offering an up to $25,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspects involved. If you have any information, you're encouraged to submit an anonymous tip at 1-800-CALL-FBI. For the Harris County Sheriff's Office, I'm Tess Rowland.
All right, let me show you one thing, because I think their pictures and that are better quality than the video. So hold on. I have a copy of the flyer from the FBI. For some reason, they've been able to clean up the images a little bit better. Here is the suspect. Now, it's funny how CCTV cameras can make people look different. This person here is supposed to be the same person on the other end, but they look so different in the different cameras. You know, I can tell you they think it's a muscular build. Possibly. It's so funny because in the first image they look quite thin, and then in that other image at the end they look a little more bulky. And there's that car. That's probably the best photo of it there, so maybe someone will know. But yeah, there's the 2 different versions of the suspect that we see on that CCTV. They look young to me. I don't know if that's 100% true, but when I look at it, I see a younger person, maybe early 20s, something like that. No, I don't think we're talking like a 45-year-old person. That's just what I think, but they look like the way they dress and things like that. I think they are a younger person. So there you go. I never had that suspect named. There is no name publicly, not even privately. I haven't heard a name. And that vehicle, don't know where it came from, don't know who owned it, don't know who might own it, nothing. So this particular case eats away at me constantly because I want someone to be held responsible for it, because it it worries me that someone could just walk into someone's house at 5 a.m. in the morning and annihilate everyone inside, and then set their house on fire and try and burn it to the ground, or at least burn it to the point that a lot of the evidence now is unusable, which is part of the reason it's taking so long, is because they weren't left with very much after the fire. So I do know this, they do have shell casings from the shooting. They are fire damage from what I understand. I don't know how that works, but if they can find the weapon, they might be able to match it to the shell casing. Um, and I think they've got a little bit of more evidence. I heard someone told me that they had some DNA evidence that they were trying to get tested. Now, I don't know if that worked out or not. I don't know if they were able to get anything from it. DNA testing is not, again, what they make it seem like on NCIS or, something like that. It can be hit and miss. Sometimes you can get what you think is a good sample, and then you test it and it comes back as either damaged, muddled, has too many contributors. It can come back as like a partial profile, not a full profile. There's all sorts of things that can happen with DNA tests. So I heard they had some DNA. I don't know how good of a sample they have or whether it led to anything, but I did hear that. Kathy said, "How much of the house was damaged?" I don't know. I heard that a lot of the fire was constricted to a few places within the home where it was most damaged, which was the stairwell upstairs and then a room downstairs. But take that with a grain of salt, please. I don't have that as verified, just that's what I've have been told. I can show you a photo of the home after it happened, and you can see where a lot of the fire took place. Here you go. So you can see this bit took a lot of the heat. A lot of the heat got taken right here and down here. So there's a stairwell here that you can see in some of the photos. And look at that. You can some of the other ones got damaged, but not as bad. This area here looks really beat up. So that's sort of what I've been told. Um yeah, if there is a wish for 2026, it is that this one gets an arrest. If we could get an arrest for this one this year, I would be very happy. I would be like, "Oh my god, thank you finally." And I could stop worrying about it cuz days will go by, I won't really think about it, and then it'll get in my head again, and I just this is one of those cases that I can't let go. It really frustrates me that it's almost 2 years and we don't know anything. It's like, who is the person? Why did this happen? Where did they come from? Why would they wanna kill them? It's all these questions that we don't have answers to. And there's a lot of rumors online, guys, a lot of rumors. There's various factions of the different sides of the family. There's the Mascarelli side, there's the Foster side of the family, there's the side for Cameron Richards. There's the Richards side of the family, and there's various people from each sides of the different families, all posting stuff online. Some of them yelling at the other one, saying, "Stop posting so much! You're going to ruin the investigation." Some of them posting and saying, "Well, this happened today when I spoke to the detectives," and it's a bit of a mess. Peachy said, "What's the type of car on the left, the black spotty one?" I think that is if I'm remembering correctly, that is the sports car that Colin just bought. What is it again? It is a I'm getting a mental blank, but I'm pretty sure that's a car he just bought. There you go. Wow, what is it again? Jeez, ping. Hold on, I'll find it. It's a type of car. Oh, it's a Corvette. It is a oh no, that Corvette's red. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what the black car is, but there was a red Corvette that he just bought. I don't know what that is. Someone with better car knowledge would have to tell you. But there was also a red Corvette that was of interest, but apparently they have now ruled that out. They have ruled out anyone connected to the red Corvette. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know what type of car that one is though. A Nissan? Maybe like one of the sporty Nissans that were around, like an NSX or something? I don't know. Ping's not a car guy, so I can't really tell you. Let me see if I can find a photo of the red Jaguar, the red sports car. Hold on. The Corvette. I don't know if it was in any photos. I'll have to have a look. I don't know if we have any photos of it. Yeah, I don't have any photos of it, unfortunately. I'll double check. Here it is. Here's the red Corvette they did tow it at one point. There's the red Corvette for you. They're saying there's no connection between this car and their deaths. They're saying that now they ruled out so he just bought that car, and they're saying that they have ruled out the car's previous owner from having anything to do with it. Because one of the early theories that happened was that the guy who used to own the car came back to get the car back and then shot and killed everyone or something. So that was one of the very early theories, but I believe that's been ruled out now. At least they're not looking at it anymore. So yeah, they did tow it at one point. No, I don't believe so. I don't know what he did for a living. I'm not sure. Let's see. All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's all I can tell you right now. Yeah. I was just looking at another piece of information, but I don't think it's going to help us. I think so. I think so. Hold on. So this video was right after it happened. So we probably should end the show, or at least end this crime with this. This is right after it happened. Yeah.
Telltale signs that did show that it was most likely deliberately set.
Harris County Sheriff deputies say a house fire led to the deadly discovery of 3 people murdered inside a Cypress home. Their lives taken too soon. The killer then setting their home ablaze. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Bill Barajas. We begin with that tragedy unfolding tonight. Investigators say a mother, her son, and the son's girlfriend were already dead when their home was intentionally set on fire. That house is in the Cypress Mill Park community off Cypresswood Drive in northwest Harris County. KPRC2's Corley Peel is there with new clues in the case.
As of right now, investigators aren't revealing how the 3 people died. They're waiting on their autopsy results, but they're hoping that surveillance video in this area and evidence at the scene will provide answers. This red Corvette being towed away, now an area of interest for detectives. It was found in the driveway of the home where a mother, her son, and his girlfriend were believed to be killed before their home was set on fire.
We are willing to say that these individuals look like they were deceased before the fire was started. So this is definitely a homicide, not accidental deaths due to fire and smoke inhalation.
Detectives say the son recently bought the car, the previous owner in the clear, but investigators believe the last person driving the car was not the son. A neighbor told us off camera he heard a car door slam. Other neighbors didn't hear anything before the home was engulfed in flames.
This has been a little unusual.
Detectives believe 1 person was found on the first floor and 2 other people were found upstairs. All 3 had trauma to their bodies. Sergeant Michael Ritchie believes an accelerant was used to set the home on fire. He believes the suspect ran out of the back of the home. We saw a crime scene investigator placing evidence markers near a fence at a park nearby. He says setting fire after a homicide is a common tactic killers use to cover their tracks. The fire makes it more difficult, but detectives still believe enough evidence was left at the scene.
It's difficult to say this early in the investigation, but I do believe there's still enough evidence. As you can see, the house behind me, it's still intact. It wasn't completely burned down. Not everything inside was destroyed, so we have been able to recover some evidence.
Detectives hoping the evidence in the red car can lead them to that driver.
Well, it did lead them to the driver, but not a suspect. Kathy said, did the firemen find the bodies? Yes, the firemen found the bodies. They found one as they went into the home to work on the blaze. They found the 2 others after extinguishing the fire and then going upstairs, and they found the other 2. So, yeah. I wanted to come on and sort of scratch that itch again and sort of get this out there for, I think this is the 5th or 6th time that I've covered this story. And I keep going back to it and back to it and back to it, hoping that someone who watches these videos will have the small bit of information it'll take to bust this wide open. I am not, I'm not ignorant to think that these people who did this crime are probably checking in online, on YouTube, on videos to see how far away people are from identifying them. So I believe they watch these videos, and I'm almost sure of it that they keep on top of the investigation and where it's going and what information is public and things like that. But if you live in this area, and I'll put this call out again, if you know anything about this, first call the Harris County Sheriff's Office or the FBI. Do not email me. Call them. Tell them what the information is. If you have information that has like nothing directly tied to solving the case or something, but you want to reach out and talk about this particular case with me, contact me sundaywithping@gmail.com. I want to hear from people who might have known Colin, might have known Cameron, might have known Kelly Mascarelli. If you know stuff and you think it's not being put out in the public correctly, that things are not being talked about in the correct way, I will correct them. Just contact me and I will do the work for you. I just want people to start getting on top of this. And like, to me, like I've said this before when we've talked about this story, 4 kids were killed in a campus home by Brian Koberger, right? You guys remember that? 3 people were killed in their home in this one, and no one gives a shit. Like, no one cares about this story. Yet, the 4 college students die in that home, and it's one of the greatest true crime stories of the last 20 years. Like, how does that work? How come this one's not worth anything to anyone, but the other one was like such a big story? To me, they're the same. Multiple people died within a home because somebody went in there. Actually, if you ask me, this one's more interesting because you've got someone who walked to the property, went in, broke in, well, not broke in, but just went in the back door and shot and killed them and set the house on fire. And they had a getaway driver. So you got more than one person. The other one was just Brian Koberger drove up to a home and decided to kill people. I reckon this one's got more, like, it should be a much bigger story in true crime, and it's just not. And no one really wants to pick up on it at all. Like, no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to cover it. Everyone's just like, who cares? It's a guy and his girlfriend and his mum. Who cares? I care. I care. I want it solved. This is like my number one story that just won't find a conclusion. And it's like, hurry up. I want it done. I want someone in jail for it. So, Peachy says it seems like a very high level of professionalism. It does. You wouldn't be the first person I've heard that said it seemed like a professional hit. I've heard that several times from people watching the case that this is a professional hit. I don't know if it is, but several people I've heard have said that. Hey, Share Bear, how are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in ages. How are you? High five. High five, my friend. Haven't seen you since like July. How are you? Tangled. Hey, Tangled. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see all of you. So this is a good story. So what do I want my viewers to do? I want you to talk about the case. I want you to go wherever you go talk about true crime, and I want you to talk about it. I want you to post the videos. I want you to post my video. I want you to try to get other people in true crime interested in it, and try and solve it. If you get good tips or good clues, give it to authorities. Call Harris County. Give it to them. Give it to their sheriff. Their sheriff is Ed Gonzalez. He's a good guy. Give it to him. And let's hurry up and get it solved, because as you can see, Cameron's mom is absolutely heartbroken. I'm not sure her life is ever going to be the same. Ever. Obviously not. She lost her daughter, but I don't know if that woman will ever be okay. Now, I want to read something to you that she posted, if I can get to it. No, that's not how we do that. Give me 1 second. I want to post something. I know. I want to read something from her. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. So Cameron's mum, Tina, posted this a year ago on Reddit. She said, "This is Cam's mum. I came on here to try and find other mothers dealing with grief. My daughter's birthday is the 24th of February, and the pain of losing her is at an all-time high for me." She says, "We still have no answers. They have put out more info. If the person who did this is reading, I'd like you to know how you have destroyed my life and my family. Me and my daughter were very close. I raised my children as a single mother most of their life. You took the one thing away from me that would destroy my soul. My children are my greatest blessing in life. How can one live with themselves is beyond comprehension. I look forward to seeing you one day soon." And that's what she posted. And she was looking for other parents who had gone through traumatic events, and she was putting out that call online to try and find comfort, help, some insight, anything. And I didn't want to like intrude on her like what she wrote, but I think it just shows you the pain and heartbreak that still lingers for these families that are involved in this particular case. And I think she's right. It's never going to go away. She's going to have to deal with it for the rest of her life. But the one thing that could make it a bit better is knowing that the person who did it is no longer out there. That must be absolutely frightening for the family. Imagine that. Imagine that's your kid. Your kid was shot and killed, and so was her boyfriend and his mom. You live in Texas too, and you have to walk around, sleep, go to the shops, live your life knowing that your daughter was murdered, but also know the fact that at least two people are wandering around not far from you who did this crime. I don't know how you ever feel safe. I don't know how you ever sleep at night without a shotgun in your bed. I would just I don't get it. She's stronger than I am. She is a very strong lady. So yeah, there you go. I wanted to cover that. I think it's very important. This case literally eats at me constantly. Every time I hear about it, an update, someone talk about it, I, I just want it solved. I want to see that press conference where someone says, we did it. We got them. They're off the street. And we find out why these three people had to die. Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense why someone would creep into that house at 5 a.m. in the morning and gun down these people. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed going back and working through this particular crime. I wish we had more information, but that's literally the majority of what we have. It's not a lot. We have just a few bits and pieces. So I love you all. You guys are great. I'm sorry today's show was really late. Blame the 49ers. I want to thank my friend Kathy Lynch. Kathy Lynch, that is very, very kind of you. I hope your husband's doing well. I know you said the other night that he seems to be recovering pretty good. So I hope he is still on the mend. Peachy Keen said the difference is Koberger had several families leveraging influence to get it solved. This one only has two at most. Well, true, but Sherbear said, when did this happen? August in 2024. I think it's August 18th, 2024. So almost 18 months ago now. 18 months ago. It's been a while. And then a year ago, in February of 2025, they released that CCTV footage. So that was done a little while ago, about almost a year ago now. So that's why I wanted to bring it back up, because it's almost been 12 months. I really thought when they released that CCTV, I thought it's going to be solved. I was like, this is it. They're just doing this to pressure the people they know were involved. They're just doing this to make them sweat so they do something stupid and then they can nab them. But it's been almost another 12 months and no update. No updates at all. And I'm not expecting one anytime soon. I sent a message in to um, Chief Ed Gonzalez a week ago, and they said to me that there's no update right now that they can give out. So, no update that they can give out right now. So, I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll get an update soon. Maybe they're working on something. I don't know. But they just said no update right now. All right. Yeah, Shebear, good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you. We haven't done an evening live show in a while, so it was nice to come and hang out. All right, I love you all. I got to go eat some dinner. It's like 9 p.m. at night here, so quite late. I'll be back tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. I'm having my air conditioner repaired tomorrow, so whenever he finishes up and stops drilling, I'll be back and we'll do some more true crime tomorrow night. Love you all. Hey, you want to support this channel? Hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Unfortunately, YouTube lives and dies on that stupid number that's underneath my channel name. And if you could hit that subscribe button, I would very much appreciate it. Good night, everyone. Bye.